Good morning. I am very pleased to come before you today with a group of law enforcement professionals, the mayors of the city of Elkhart and the city of Goshen, and be able to announce the formation of the new Elkhart County Homicide Unit. This is kind of the culmination of a very long-standing tradition of resources in Elkhart County, ever since I've been here and way before. If a homicide happens in this county, everyone drops what they're doing and comes to help. No matter what jurisdiction you may be in at the time, whether it is Middlebury or Millersburg or Napanee, Wakarusa, the city of Elkhart, city of Goshen, or anywhere in between, every agency has always stepped up and offered help. It's not so easy though when you don't work together on a daily basis. They still make it work though. And for the last 15 years since I have been here seeing how homicides work, I have seen some of the best investigators putting forth everything, sometimes for 72 hours at a time, making sure that they do a thorough investigation, that they interview the witnesses, and that they uncover that evidence that could be the key in solving the case. We are finally at a point now where we are making this arrangement formal. We are now bringing different agencies from around the county under one roof. So not only they can network, but they can make it a lot easier because they're working together day in and day out. When a homicide happens, they also have the backing of every single officer in this county. If there's a witness, say somewhere down in the county, they have access very easily. And they have people who may even know them because these officers are the ones that are out in your neighborhoods. They're on the streets. They have a familiarity with a lot of the people that live here, work here, play here. And when you put all those things together, it just creates the opportunity that is absolutely imperative to having a successful investigation. That way we can bring individuals who choose to cause harm in our community to justice. And we can hopefully provide whatever support that we can to those that are now grieving because of the loss of a loved one. The new Elkhart County Homicide Unit is made up of the Elkhart Police Department, the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department, the Goshen Police Department, and the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney. My investigator, Mark Daggy, will command the individuals and be my liaison directly with the unit. And then Chris Seymour from the Elkhart Police Department will be the field commander that manages the day-to-day operations and the assignments of the individual investigators. As I indicated, this is a collaboration. It's nothing new, but the part that makes it new is that it is now formal. They are under one roof and they are working together as a hand-in-hand team on everyday occasions. This is something that we believe is cutting edge. We've seen it work so well in the drug investigation world from our undercover ICE team. We took that model and used that model now to create the homicide team. And so we know that by bringing everyone together and sharing those resources, that it will really create the best opportunity for the people of Elkhart County. The Elkhart County Homicide Team will be responsible for all suspicious deaths, all homicides, all types of incidents where a vehicle is used as a weapon, all deaths of children under the age of 18, as well as officer-involved shootings and use of deadly force events that result in serious bodily injury or death. We have always partnered with the Indiana State Police in the past to provide investigative assistance in those cases in order to make sure that everything was objective and on the move. That is one of the main reasons that this command unit is under my supervision. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you're an officer from outside the county or inside the county. We will still complete a thorough and objective investigation because I represent the entire county, not just one jurisdiction. So therefore, we believe that by having everyone together, by having the resources from every individual jurisdiction in Elkhart County, not only will it provide for more efficient and thorough investigations, our hope is to also make the turnaround time on those investigations much more like what they are for current homicides, which can range anywhere from a few days, a few weeks, to several months, depending upon the nature of the investigation. We believe that Elkhart County deserves that. And so we have provided this to you as a group in conjunction not only with the police agencies, but the mayors of the municipalities that have to support them. So I cannot tell you how excited I am about where we are going from here. The official unit starts today. We have contact information that is available, so if you have something, give us a few minutes to finish this up, and then feel free to give us a call, send us some emails, fax capabilities as well if you want to report in any information, and then our investigators will get busy doing what they have been doing for quite some time, but now sharing information with those whose familiarity with the groups of people that it affects will be much more effective. So the number for the countywide homicide unit is area code 574-295-2821. You can always call the prosecutor's office, 296-1888. Commander Mark Daggy will be, as I indicated, in charge of the homicide unit, so he will be able to get information directly to them and follow up as well. In addition to that, you can always go through our website, which is www.elkhartcountyprosecutor.com. We also have a media website that has been used for different tips from the public as well. That is media@elkhartcountyprosecutor.com. Are there any questions?
Will this speed up investigations? Or?
It has the potential to do so. You know, one of the things that we have found is the more resources you can put on an investigation at any given time, the more efficient it can be. We've been doing that for quite some time. For example, if something happens in Goshen, Sheriff's Department's there, Indiana State Police there, Elkhart City has been coming down. So we've begun to test the waters over the last several months, and we have found that the response time is much more efficient. Now, the nature of every homicide investigation is different. Some of them, no matter how many resources you throw at them, are still going to take months. But generally speaking, we're finding that this model is working very efficiently, so we do expect that the length of time that it will take for most homicide investigations will be much less.
Just about how many people are going to be working throughout all the units together?
As far as the homicide unit, there are 9 that are full-time assigned to the unit. There are other agencies that will also be providing assistance, but if a homicide happens, then you get the resources of whatever jurisdiction and any other jurisdiction you may need at the same time. So we could have, well over 100 officers available if need be. In the past, sometimes when things happen, we have to call in federal agencies, Indiana State Police, or other types of assistance, including National Guard. They're all available to us too. So this opens up those resources even more efficiently than what they have been in the past.
Was there anything specific that made you guys decide, okay, we need to put this unit together? This wasn't working before, this will start making things work better?
Nothing that wasn't working. It was more a situation where the last couple of years especially, the type of camaraderie, the type of collaboration that we have seen amongst the leaders of law enforcement in this community has truly just gone off the charts. I cannot tell you how nice it is to work with law enforcement officials and administrators who absolutely want the best for the county, and that means collaborating with their fellow leaders. Over the last couple of years, we have seen such progress and such collaboration between the Sheriff's Department, the city police departments, other agencies in the county, and we knew that if any time is right for a homicide unit, now might be the time to make it happen. You guys have heard us. We've been talking about this for 10 years. And really, just over the last couple of years, we have gotten to the point where the level of commitment and collaboration has made this possible. So we could not be here without these gentlemen standing here with us. We are truly creating new relationships and new opportunities because everyone is doing the very best that they can for their community, not just about their individual jurisdiction.
Did the agency ever kind of reach out to St. Joe County Metro Homicide Unit just for, some tips, just to see how they're, working and stuff like that?
Absolutely. We actually had Mr. Corbett come over and we had quite a nice presentation from him as well as a question and answer. Our guys have been working with St. Joe County for quite some time as well as some of the other agencies. So we've been picking bits of information off for the last several months in anticipation of the possibility that this might actually come to fruition.
In terms of funding, is it a matter of each municipality contributing, or do you get support from the county? How does that work?
It's a combination of things. Each municipality is definitely contributing with ways that, of course, their manpower, their supplies, their resources, so they are continuing to contribute that. Our office has also stepped up and provided quite a bit of infrastructure for the team to begin working. So yes, it comes from Elkhart County, it comes from Elkhart City, it comes from the city of Goshen, comes from a variety of different sources, and it's truly a collaboration of resources.
Do you have a number of maybe how many cases are being worked on right now?
Oh, boy. Well, we have 8 pending homicides right now, which means that, you know, I pick up the phone and say, I need this right now, and they're there. In addition to that, they are working multiple different homicides. We have 3 additional ones that are here under under my review right now, so I'm sure that there will be additional work that needs to go there. There are unsolved or cold cases also out there, and while that will not be the absolute priority of the unit, when they have available time, then they will begin going through some of those old and cold cases for the purpose of identifying whether they have any possibility of reopening or potentially even finding new evidence that might assist in the resolution of the case.
Homicides seem to be an upward trend in Elkhart County.
It depends. It depends on the year. You know, last year we had 21, I believe.
Yeah.
So there have been years when we've had less than 5. There have been years we've had more than 20. And it's very hard to identify trends simply because there's so many factors that go into it. We're prepared, and that's the thing that matters the most. Whether we have 2, 3, 4, 5 this year, or whether we have 25. I feel very confident that the resources we have together now will be able to handle that load.
Is this gonna be in like a separate building or inside a police department that we already, know of, or?
It's
what?
actually here. It is here in our office. It is in an area of the office that is not accessible to the public, so it's, we try and make sure that they have the resources that they need, the infrastructure and the security that they need to get the job done.
Do you think this will lower the number of homicides here in Elkhart County?
Absolutely. I would be happy if they had nothing to do. So obviously, it's a situation where we all wish that the number of homicides in Elkhart County would cease entirely. The reality is that's not probably going to happen. But I hope that when people understand that we are willing to give it this kind of a commitment to not only investigate, but come after any individual who chooses to engage in this behavior, they may think twice and go somewhere else.
Can you talk about the relationships, how it worked previously without having this homicide unit, and how you hope it's going to change when you're working on new cases?
One of the things that we found, everybody, as soon as that happens, there's a phone chain going. And that phone chain then hits the specific people that are part of the protocols. And depending upon what jurisdiction the homicide occurred, there is different people you need to call. Unfortunately, though, that's not something where you just happen to hear what's going on always occurred, because, for example, if it happened in the county, then the county may be working very hard themselves, but yet not in the presence of Elkhart City officers. Elkhart City officers may recognize the name of a suspect, the name of a witness, an address, a circumstance like that, but not having that information readily available because you're not right there in real time does sometimes cause some problems. In the past, what's occurred is they would pick up the phone or they would go talk to the Elkhart City officers and hope that by sharing the information it would provide a lead in the case. And that does work, and it has worked in the past. But the delay in accomplishing those things are what we're trying to reduce by having everyone under the same roof now. So now we have not only Goshen, Elkhart, County, and other officers that are readily available and collaborating. If they hear that name, they hear that address, they hear that witness information, then they know, hey, that person is so-and-so, and then they can go back immediately to their brethren in their individual home jurisdictions and be able to collaborate better.
And you said this is something you've been talking about for the last 10 years. When did the wheels actually start turning into getting this set up?
Well, Mr. Hill absolutely envisioned this unit when he first started as prosecuting attorney 15 years ago. There have been little wheels moving in that direction, little by little, ever since that time. Really within the past 9 months, 10 months, is when things started changing to the point where we could see differences. Goshen began partnering with Elkhart City and County, and next thing you knew, when there was a homicide or a police action shooting, everybody was coming to help. And so we started having those conversations of, this is fantastic, I didn't realize it would work this good working together, let's see if we can get this under one roof. So it's been a culmination over many years, and it started with Mr. Hill's vision. Fortunately, it is culminating now with my leadership.
So you expect to solve homicides quickly, or I should say more quickly?
That's the goal. That's the goal. You know, the bottom line is figuring out what really happened. And we never want to do quick as opposed to thorough. But a thorough investigation takes time. The more resources you can have taking care of every little bit of that investigation, then naturally the faster it's going to happen. So when you put all those resources together now in this environment, our hope is that every task that must be done in order to ensure a thorough investigation can be done more efficiently.
You mentioned Elkhart and Goshen. Are there other police departments within the county that are participating within the homicide unit?
There are other police departments that will be participating from time to time depending upon their resources. So we already have some inquiries from some of those departments now, but it's going to be on a case-by-case basis.